Hi everyone, this is Mason Winfield of Psi Friday with Mason. We are going to do part 2 today of the gloomiest Bigfoot in Ohio. And I don't really have a formal title for this part 2. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to discuss, you recall the flap of Bigfoot sightings in northeastern Ohio in the first week of March this year, 2026. And among the articles I read to gain a little perspective, somebody threw in a top 10 list of Ohio beasties. And I figured I would summarize this top 10 list of beasties in Ohio and maybe just have a little fun with it. So the first, and the people who ran the list is, I think, a website called tourism.ohio. And they aren't paranormalists. And I think whoever they got to do the list, I don't know, might not be a true paranormalist either. I don't know, you figure it out. But the first critter on this top 10 list was a Bigfoot. And I think that's quite responsible. The Bigfoot is surprisingly commonly cited in the state of Ohio. You wouldn't think there'd be that many. Ohio is not a heavily wooded state. It's not mountainous. Parts of it are quite hilly, but they're not mountainous. And even though you wouldn't think the state of Ohio would provide many good places for a big primate to live, it gives them a lot of good places to get away. There's good reasons to see one that you can't find later. So the second critter on this tourism.ohio list is the Mothman. Now I've got to tell you, I disagree with it being on an Ohio list. For one thing, the Mothman is very distinctively associated with Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is really close to the Ohio border, though. There's just a river there, and apparently somebody in Gallipolis, Ohio in 1966, one person reported seeing something answering to this description of a Mothman flying over a bridge. So for me, that Mothman is not in Ohio, and I wouldn't have put it on this list. It's still in West Virginia. Somebody just saw it from Ohio. The third critter on the Ohio list is something they call the Loveland frog. And as you might imagine, it's a little more unusual than it's like 4 feet tall. And I don't think there's been a lot of reports, but it's a big ass frog. But I'll tell you, that doesn't impress me that much. I put my money on Bigfoot. Get them two in trunks and in a ring. My money's on Bigfoot. 9 out of 10, Bigfoot every time. The fourth item is something they call the Dogman. Now, in about the last 20 years, this Dogman is starting to get to be a fairly common critter for people to report. You never used to hear about it. I never heard about it until maybe 3 decades ago. But there's starting to get to be a lot of reports of them. I don't know what to make of it. It sounds like a werewolf or a shaman, or maybe I'll talk about the Dogman someday soon because I think it's significant. The fifth category on the Ohio bogey list is something they call the melon heads. They are human-like beings. They just got these really big globular heads. I don't know what to make of that. I'm getting images out of a Far Side cartoon here. Item 6 on the list is the Lake Erie serpent. Now, this is a significant paranormal creature. It has a pedigree. I think the earliest sighting might be in the 1700s. The native people had legends about it. It's not just an Ohio bogey, though. Because, Lake Erie's a long east-west flow, east-west water body. Both Pennsylvania and New York State have a lot of reports of a giant serpent. And I mean really big. And they've got nicknames for it, like South Bay Bessie and Back Bay Bessie. But I would say this really belongs on the list. It's quite an interesting series. Item 7 is something they call the Charles Mill Monster. Now Charles Mill is kind of a small, I think it's an artificial lake. I mean, they made it out of a creek, dammed it up, and it isn't really that big. It might be at the deepest 24 feet deep. But they talk about some kind of a critter there, which is 11 feet tall. It's green. It's kind of lizard-like. It's got these really big webbed feet, but it's got no arms. And I don't know what to say about it. I don't think there have been many reports. It sounds completely illogical, but it's a monster. Item 8 on the list of Ohio bogies is something they call the orange eyes. It's been reported a couple times. I don't know whether it was seen, but it was reported a couple times, like 1963, 1966, and I think 1991. And it sounds like a Bigfoot whose eyes glow orange when you hit it with the light. Item number 9 is something they call the Crosswick Monster. It's a lizard-like, watery being, 12 to 14 feet long. It was seen once, reported once, in Waynesville in 1882. Now, to me, I would either not have put it on a top 10 list, or I'd have come up with a different list. Because to me, one sighting in like 1866 or whatever it was, that's not a pedigree. It's not a track record. It's one local drunk. The last item on our list is what they call the peninsula python. It's a big python. It might be, like not superhuman size or anything. It's like 14 feet, 20 feet, something like that. It was reported in a village called Peninsula, Ohio, which is a bit south of Cleveland, in 1944. And the report I see is that it attacked the village. Now, if you're a 20-foot snake, you don't attack a village. I mean, I can think of bars in my neighborhood where you attack that bar, 14-foot snake, 20-foot snake, you attack that bar, you end up in the sushi. That's either a crazy report or a very ambitious snake. So I'm going to end today by mentioning that I hope, as I've been having a little fun with this, I have not been irreverent or disrespectful. I think I could come up with a better list than that for 5 western counties of my region of New York State. But maybe I'll do that someday. But for now, I'll add that one of the articles I read believed that the state of Ohio has more haunted houses than any other state. And I don't know, okay, it's not famous for it outside Ohio. I mean, I would also say that if you're going to say that this place has a lot more of something than that place, you have to know how much of something this place has. How many haunted houses does it have? And you also have to know how many of the other places have, so you can say that this one has more than they do. And I'm not sure that kind of a study either A, has been done, or B, even could be done. So I'll ring off by saying I do agree that some of those little Ohio villages, they look to me like they get a little shut in, like they need to get out more. And those are usually signs of places that collect a lot of supernatural folklore. But all that being said, I kind of like the state. kind of like Ohio. I enjoy my trips through it in my Denison University memorial shirt today, and thank you all for joining us on Psi Friday with Mason.